No, Hard Rock Cafe is not a club for minors, but it is the scene of a bitter conflict. Friends turned into enemies and partners into adversaries. At its peak, this chain was the go-to place for A-list celebrities, but today, it's where dust mites party like it's 1985. So how did it go wrong? This is a story of the bitter history of Hard Rock Cafe. Most American restaurant chains can trace their roots to a city in America, but Hard Rock Cafe is different. It started its journey across the Atlantic in the UK. In the 1970s, America witnessed an explosion of restaurants and fast food chains. Brits didn't have that many cool pubs and hotels. McDonald's, Cracker Barrel, Red Robin, and other restaurant chains competed intensely for the American market. They had yet to establish that much of a presence in the UK market. However, change was close, and it came from America. It began when two young Americans, Isaac Tigritt and Peter Morton, were hungry in London. Now they had the urge to eat burgers. These young men searched everywhere in London for a burger joint, but they found nothing. And in the nothing they found, they had a business idea and an ambition. Now, this ambition was supposed to be difficult for two 22-year-old Americans living in a foreign country to execute. However, for these young men, it was a walk in Park Lane. You see, Tigritt was the son of a Memphis financier. Morton came from a family of wealthy restaurateurs, so they had no problem accessing capital. They borrowed a combined $50,000 from their parents and started the restaurant on one of London's most prestigious streets, Park Lane. The restaurant was a big hit. Londoners saw it as a breath of fresh air and as it offered a new perspective to American fast food. And if you like to learn about the history of your favorite eateries, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Tigritt and Morton wanted their joint to become more popular. They realized the only way to do this was through marketing. However, they wanted something exceptional, and they decided to use celebrities, the hard rock kind. You see, rock and roll music was at its peak during the 70s and 80s, and the Friends wanted some rock and roll fame to run off on their business. In 1972, they convinced a founding member of the Beatles, Paul McCartney, to host a concert in their restaurant. In 1997, Carole King, the most successful female songwriter on the UK singles charts between 1962 and 2005, released the song Hard Rock Cafe in her album Simple Things. Their idea was successful. By 1974, Hard Rock Cafe became one with rock and roll music. The Duke of Westminster came over. Led Zeppelin, a rock band with 5 Diamond-certified albums, made it to their pub house. Hollywood legend Steven Spielberg ate lunch there every day while filming the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. At the peak of this frenzy, celebrity rock stars engaged in memorabilia donation contests. One major showdown in 1979 involved two rock and roll legends, Eric Clapton and Peter Townsend. Eric Clapton, a 3-time Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, donated his Fender guitar to the restaurant. Triggered by Clapton's action, Peter Townsend donated a Grammy Lifetime Award winner, sent a package containing his guitar and a note saying, "Mine's as good as his. Love, Pete." The endless waves of celebrity and the drama it brought made the restaurants a staple in celebrity news magazines and newspapers, and in a short time, it became the go-to place for tourists, natives, and rock and roll fans. But this success came at a price. Things became rocky. Although fortune favored the company in its early years, behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. Its young owners were not happy. Why? The partnership. You see, Morton and Tigritt have conflicting personalities. Morton is focused, distant, and reserved, while Tigritt is impulsive, social, and unpredictable. In the beginning, Morton and Tigritt's personalities were a perfect match, but with time, everything changed. Tigritt became religious. He didn't see hard rock as a normal business venture. He saw hard rock as a way of saving souls through rock and roll. Morton saw the business as a way of making money. Talking about the feud, Tigritt told the Texas Monthly that Morton was totally cash-oriented. Their differences were irreconcilable, so both men moved from partners to adversaries. Tigritt and Morton fought a 3-year legal battle over the rights of ownership to the Hard Rock Cafe name, but agreed to a treaty in 1982. Morton got the rights to the Hard Rock name for all the world west of the Mississippi River, and Tigritt retained rights to the Hard Rock name for all the world east of the Mississippi River. The treaty ended the battle for the Hard Rock name, but the battle for Hard Rock's fame was only beginning. The legal battle between Morton and Tigritt birthed two new companies, Hard Rock America and Hard Rock International, and both founders were focused on one thing: expansion. Morton's Hard Rock America made the first move. Backed by Steven Spielberg in 1982, Morton opened a Hard Rock Cafe location in Los Angeles. The restaurant was relatively successful, but Tigritt's move across the Atlantic in 1984 was the first to attract public attention. Most people loved Hard Rock International because it incorporated elements of the original London branch. Yet that didn't stop Morton. In 1984, he opened a new location in San Francisco. The next year, 1985, he opened opened another location in his hometown, Chicago. Not to be outdone, between 1985 and 1986, Tigrit opened new locations in Dallas and Stockholm. Both versions of Hard Rock were successful. Morton's grossed at least $15 million annually from its Los Angeles location. Tigrit's New York location recorded $7 million in sales revenue in 1984. But there was a huge problem. Neither of the quarreling founders had a grasp on the brand name, and illegal Hard Rock cafes sprouted in every direction. The company needed change. For over a decade of its existence, Tigrit and Morton were the sole proprietors of their restaurants, but a new player entered the equation in the late 1980s. 17 years after founding the restaurant in 1988, Tigrit sold his part of the company, Hardcore International, to Robert Earl and Pleasurama, a successful restaurateur, for $100 million, and that was the start of a period of unstable owners. The company changed two owners within 2 years. Mecca Leisure plc acquired Pleasurama in 1989, a year after it bought the restaurant from Tigrit, and in 1999, a year later, Rank Organization plc acquired Mecca Leisure plc. At that point, the total number of Hard Rock locations in the world was 25, and competition was growing. Two prominent brands, Rainforest Cafe and Planet Hollywood, threatened its position. One of Hard Rock International's former owners, Robert Earl, founded Planet Hollywood in 1991, and Rainforest Cafe went public in 1994. In response, the Rank Group expanded aggressively. It added 13 new restaurants to the company in 1996. 14 years after its split, Rank reunited the chain. The group bought Peter Morton's part of the business. Despite this progress, Rank Group knew acquisitions and expansion wouldn't be enough to cement the restaurant's place at the peak of its industry. So, like its founders, the group did something unique. It started a weekly TV series. Each episode featured two popular past or present celebrities. And guess what? The TV series was a big hit. It brought both fame and money to members of the group, and it gave birth to a live music concert series and a record deal from Rhino Records. The company moved from being synonymous with music to becoming music itself. By 1999, it had 104 locations in 36 countries, yet failure isn't far away. The Rank Group grew and maintained the restaurant for more than a decade. However, in 2008, the group sold the restaurant to a Native American, the Seminole Tribe of Florida. This Native American tribe bought the company for $965 million, almost $1 billion. In exchange, they got control of 124 Hard Rock cafes, 2 Hard Rock casino hotels, 2 Hard Rock live concert venues, equity stakes in 3 unbranded hotels, and 4 Hard Rock hotels. Unfortunately, the Seminole Tribe were unlucky. The Great Recession that started in December 2007 lasted till June 2009 and led to a downturn in the restaurant's fortune. It forced the company's management to shut down multiple established stores. Despite the downturn, the restaurant still got high sales revenue. In fact, it grossed $5 billion in sales revenue in 2016. But it never recovered from that recession. Its future is uncertain, and it's shutting decades-old restaurants in major cities like Seattle, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. The company's chairman, Jim Allen, had no hope to offer fans and customers. During an interview with CNBC, he said, "There's no other way to describe it than it is struggling."